In this video tutorial, I'll be discussing the difference between post and get. So as you've noticed, I've already created the template or HTML template. We have our HTML head, then of course we have the title and the body. Now for the body, it already contains our form tags. Okay, so we have your form method post. Currently, the method that I'm using is post and action php underscore lesson underscore 10.php. Now this one is the same as my file name, as you can see here on top. And we also have the following. We have here input type text full name, then input type submit. I've called this one as button submit or btn submit, and we have the value submit. Now the output for this particular PHP script is this one. So as you can see, you have here the full name, which is referred to the label, and also the text box as well as the submit button. Now let's say for example I'm going to enter a name, Michael, then I'm going to press submit. Okay, so currently it's okay, so I haven't reloaded it here. Let me just try to reload it again. Okay, then we have here submit. Okay, so it didn't display anything. So why is that? Now what you basically need to do is we have here, okay, if $_post, then it should be the same as our file name button submit. Okay, then echo post, you have here text full name. Okay, let's try to specify name entered. Okay, then let's try to reload the page. Okay, we'll be asked to display this page. Firefox must send the information that will repeat any actions. Okay, let's just try to click resend. Okay, so we have here name entered is Michael. So what about if we're going to enter another name, Dennis? Okay, then click submit. It will also change to Dennis. So why is that? So this is basically post. The reason for that is because the method here is post, and we also in order for us to access the post method on our form, we should also be using $_post. Okay, and this is the form name. Okay, now what about get? Okay, okay, let's try to use this time get. Okay, let's try to change it here, get. Now for still here we have here post, since basically the method is still post. Okay, we'll also try to change, let's just try to change this one into get first. Okay, let's try to see if there's an output. Okay, now undefined array key text full name. Why is that? Because basically we use get instead of post. So if we use post, it should also be $_post here. Now let's try to put a comment on this one so that it will not generate any errors. And this time let's try to use, okay, let's also try to change this one into post. Now let's try again also to enter something. Okay, let's try to reload the page. Then let's try to notice, by the way, that my URL is clean. Okay, don't have any values here after my file extension. Okay, so let's try to specify here again Michael. Let's try to click submit. Okay, so it didn't display anything yet. Why is that? Because our method is still post. But what about if we're going to change it to get? Okay, and type Michael and submit. Try to reload first. Okay, resend. Okay, then if here. Okay, now notice, by the way, that the value, or the variable name, or the form name, text full name, and the value, as well as the button name and the value, is displayed on our URL. So basically that's because we use the method get. So if we don't want to display the value on our URL, we need to use the method post. Also, if we're going to use, let's say for example, $_post to get the value, Okay, let's say text full name echo. We will be generating a warning. Okay, but if we're going to change this one to get, okay, so we have here Michael. So if we're going to use get, we also need to use $_get and the form name. If the method that we will be using is post, we should also be using post here. Now, what's the main difference between the two? Get usually displays the value and the variable and the form name on our URL. So let's say, for example, we wanted only to display certain data that is not that sensitive. Then maybe we can use get. Otherwise, we need to use post. Now in PHP, there's actually three ways for us to access post and get. So if we want it to be strict, then we use either post or get. So if the method is post, then we need to use also $_post. If the method is get, we also need to use $_get. But let's say, for example, we want it to be universal, meaning either post or get on the method, then we can actually use request. Okay. Now I changed it to request, and as you can see, it didn't display, or it also showed the value. Okay, Michael. So it at the same time also it didn't generate any warnings or any errors at all. But I wouldn't recommend using request, since basically request can also be used to access cookies. As what I've said, it can also be used to access post and get. So much better if for our form, if we want to hide the data being submitted, then we should use post. If we can actually, or if we don't want to hide the data being submitted, then for the method we can actually use get.